Hello, friends. Cowboy Jobu here. Monday, after losing to the Saints, there's the old saying, if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk. So here at Jobu Report, we're going to give equal time. Let's listen to Stephen A. Smith, GOAT. It seems like Skip Bayless has given up on the season. Let's go to the tape.
A lot to get into here on First Take, especially today. We're all here in studio. Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith. I'm Molly Karam. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
I'm going to shake your hand now because I got an idea. I won't want to shake it in a couple of minutes.
I can't let you.
You can't?
Because I don't want you to get sick. You know I'm on.
Oh, you're sick?
Exactly. I could have gotten you sick, but I looked out. And I didn't do that.
You got me sick enough last night.
Appreciate that.
But
yeah, with those tweets.
Yeah, I cannot promise, even on a day like today, that I'm not going to make you sick. Because I must tell you, I am looking forward to today's show, especially with this subject. Well, I shouldn't say especially. This comes second today.
The stage is yours.
But I can't wait for this one either.
All right, gentlemen, let's do it. The Cowboys losing the Superdome in overtime thanks to C.J. Spiller's 80-yard TD reception. Stephen A. Smith, what happened to those Cowboys?
I mean this affectionately. I want to make sure we all understand that I certainly don't wish, physical harm on anybody when I'm making jokes about the Dallas Cowboys in the interest of just making sure we get that out the way. When I call them an accident waiting to happen, I'm just saying what can go wrong will go wrong. I don't wish any harm on anybody. I don't wish Sean Lee to go down yet again with concussion issues. I don't wish Lance Dunbar to be out with an ACL and an MCL injury and probably out for the year. I don't wish bad things on the Dallas Cowboys in that regard. But I will acknowledge to you that when they lose, and they seem to reinvent ways to pull it off that way, it is somewhat comical to see, Skip Bayless. I'm thinking about a Dallas Cowboys team, Skip Bayless, that was, 91 yards away. They were 7 points down, and you had a backup quarterback in Brandon Weeden that needed to sit up there and drive this team down the field. I reminded you that it was the Saints. I did pick the Cowboys to win this game. You accused me of jinxing them.
And you did.
And I will openly confess that that's exactly what I did, and it's a beautiful thing to realize. I didn't wish to jinx them in that way where the injuries were taking place, but I did wish to jinx them in terms of the outcome. I'll openly confess that. But never
He's
in my
never
wildest
right.
dreams
We
did
should have known.
that I think that it would go down the way that it went down. For Brandon Weeden to drive them 91 yards. You understand? To connect with Williams on that TD pass in the right corner. To connect with him on a 24-yard pass. Before that, if I remember correctly, Cole Beasley and him hooked up on a 17-yard pass. Jason Witten and him hooked up on like a 29-yard pass. All of this went on in the same drive where Brandon Weeden, who had a relatively pedestrian game, didn't make any turnovers, but at the same time, there was nothing great about him up to this point. The dude showed up when it counted most, Skip Bayless. And somehow, some way, he didn't look like a reserve. He looked like somebody, Molly, Skip, that was capable of leading these Dallas Cowboys, that was capable of filling those shoes of that dude on the sideline with the sling in his arm, with the microphone in his right hand, shouting instructions because he's usually the starting quarterback. His name is Tony Romo, by the way. When I saw these things transpire, and I saw the Dallas Cowboys tie it up, I started laughing because I said to myself, you know something? There's plenty of time for Drew Brees to drive this team down the field. What a cruel ending it would be. But you know what? I sat up there and I laughed and I giggled because I said, Cowboy Nation is set up for misery. And then all of a sudden, that damn field goal kicker who deserves to remain nameless at this particular juncture.
Tough day for kickers yesterday.
Missing a tough day, but missing that field goal just nauseated me. And then, Skip, I literally turned away because I was feeling under the weather and I had to go use the bathroom. I know it's TMI, but damn it, deal with it. The point that I'm trying to make to you is this. At that particular moment in time, Skip Bayless, all of a sudden, I heard the announcer screaming, there he goes, CJ Spiller's gone, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, on the second play, just 13 seconds in the overtime, Drew Brees delivered the goods. And I just want to end by saying this. seems like every time you have somebody coming back, you have somebody else going down. It seems like, I mean, Sean Lee, I mean, Skip, what injury has this dude had? Has this dude not had? Hamstring, toe, neck, knee. I mean, the list goes on. Some dudes, regardless of how talented they are, just ain't meant to play this game. And I don't mean it talent-wise, because I know Sean Lee can play. I'm talking about durability. You can be somewhat brittle, particularly in the NFL game. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I feel bad for you, bro, because New England is next. Is it New England next?
A whole lot of people are next and next and after that next.
The floor is yours, Skip Bayless. But I just want to say, my condolences. I truly mean it, man.
You do not truly, but that's okay.
My condolences.
Why do you have to get them all fired up? Skip.
By the way, before I start, at least I didn't pick Indianapolis to be in the Super Bowl.
I know. That's true.
That's true.
You got me there. But that's just here.
Yeah.
My heart's not with Indy. Your heart's with Dallas. So you're suffering from a broken heart.
Shots fired.
You know
Let's stay focused.
There's one silver lining to what has happened.
Okay.
And that is your shtick is getting so old for me that now you're going to have to put it back in your little bag of tricks over there, and you're going to have to leave it there for a long time, because I got to tell you, I'm concerned my Dallas Cowboys are about to become, dare I say, irrelevant, because they are in for a rough stretch. I told you they had 2 winnable games, Atlanta at home and at New Orleans. They were up 28-17 at halftime and obviously fell apart in the second half versus Atlanta. And last night they went to overtime, and as soon as Jensen went and
don't tell me you're giving up
tails,
on the season.
You got to always call heads. It's always heads. I can't prove that mathematically, but it just always seems to be heads on the overtime flip. He calls tails, it's heads. I said, I'm cooked, because they weren't going to stop Drew Brees at that point.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just have a quick question. Are you trying to say that because he called tails instead of heads, that
well, however you do it, once you lose the coin flip to Drew Brees at home with a gas defense, you're basically done, okay? And they just might be done for good. We'll talk about that just a little bit.
Because I never heard that from you before.
Okay, so here's my issue with your take, which is always the very same over and over and over again to make me sick. I'm physically sick over hearing you say accident waiting to happen.
I know.
An accident waiting to happen is when your big stars make crucial mistakes at crucial moments. Last night, my Dallas Cowboys with no
We don't
big
have any stars left.
Had 0 turnovers at New Orleans. I thought that was pretty good, which it leads to my bottom line off last night. I cannot tell you how proud I was of my Dallas Cowboys last night against increasingly decimated, not meant to be odds at New Orleans. To get that game to overtime was sensational to me. And I want to applaud and thank Brandon Weeden for playing your tail off last night. He gave you next to no credit. You had a QBR of 81 and led a 91-yard drive to tie it at the end. That is big time.
Okay,
I know, but you said he was